the people stood by watching. But the rulers scoffed at him, saying, "He saved others. Let him save himself, if he is the Christ of God, his chosen one." The soldiers also mocked him, coming up and offering him sour wine and saying, "If you are the king of the Jews, save yourself." There was also an inscription over him, "This is the King of the Jews." One of the criminals who were hanged railed at him, saying, "Are you not the Christ? Save yourself and us." But the other rebuked him, saying, "Do you not fear God, since you are under the same sentence of condemnation? And we, indeed, justly, for we are receiving the due reward for our deeds. But this man has done nothing wrong." And Jesus said, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." And he said to him, "Truly I say to you, today you will be with me in paradise." Good Friday is a day when the sacred comes face to face with the profane. When Jesus, the sacred, comes face to face with the blows and the accusations and the shouts of the people. And so I suppose in a brief homily on Good Friday, I shouldn't be scared of having the sacred meet the profane too. That also happens to be what occurs in a movie that some of us here are probably old enough to remember. It's a particular scene close to the end of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, when in a scene straight out of a Dan Brown novel, there's Indy and Nazis in a room full of chalices. And the challenge is, pick the cup that Jesus used and save yourself and your Father. And it's almost comical how easily the plot goes from there. When the Nazis, one after another, grab the best looking chalice that they can find. And then there's some theatrical deadifying of them. It's just as predictable what Indy does. He looks at the one cup that's different. He says Jesus was a carpenter, and he picks the one wooden cup. It's something a 5-year-old might have done. And of course, we all know how it goes from there. He goes for the one thing that looks different from what everybody else was looking for. Here we also have a picture of what the thief on the cross saw. Everything that has happened so far in Jesus' passion sets him at odds with people's expectation of a king. In fact, everything that happens to Jesus is an exact mockery It makes of Jesus' kingdom a total farce. The thorns are mocking Jesus because they're meant to imitate a king's crown. The reed mocks Jesus because it's meant to look like a king's scepter. The sour wine mocks Jesus because it's meant to imitate a king's drink. The purple the purple robes are meant to imitate a king's clothing. And when you put the inscription on the cross, you see that it is meant to imitate a king's throne. And then, not to be outdone, the spit from the soldiers mocks a king's anointing. All of these mockeries put Jesus' kingship and Jesus' kingdom at square odds with the kingdoms of this world. And everybody else, like Nazis, they don't see it. They stand by watching and scoffing. They even know he saved others. And yet these miracles alone have not revealed the kingdom to them. Everything progresses almost predictably. That they don't see what they ought to see. It's like watching a parable happen in real life. That hearing they may not hear and seeing they may not see. And then the one criminal does. He sees the spit. He sees the crown, and the reed, and the wine, and the clothes, and the cross. And says, this one looks different. He sees that the other criminal also sees it not. For the other criminal rails at Jesus, saying, you saved yourself. Aren't you the Christ? Save yourself and us. And Jesus might as well have said, I am. Jesus' kingdom is not of this world. His kingship is not of this world. If it was so different at his passion, let us not expect Jesus' kingdom to suddenly start looking like the world now. It will still suffer. It will still be mocked. It will still be persecuted. It will still be crucified. Whether today or in all the days that follow, do not look for a kingdom or for a king that imitates the kingdoms of this world. They will not remember you. But Jesus does. Jesus remembers you, who as you are pressed into his image, are cruciform with him, who bear his wounds in your own body, since you've been baptized into his death and resurrection. Jesus remembers you, and he is in his kingdom, even if no one else does.